So this is lesson 19, multi-step equations. And the goal and objective of this lesson, students will solve multi-step equations. Okay? That's our objective. What's your objective?
Multi-step equations.
Good. Okay, that's the goal. Which is basically we've done one step. That was Friday with the teacher here. Then yesterday we did 2 steps. Now we're doing multi. It could be more than 2. Okay, which is kind of organizing things. So sometimes the story gets messy, and you have to kind of combine things and think, how do we combine like terms? So it could be maybe as a teacher, right? You know how you gave us the example that like a parent gives money to all their kids. They talked about, you know, how much does each student have or each person have, or how much money do you start with? Another example could be, what if the parent, you know, let's look at the parent and he gives money to his kids and also to his other, or his nephews and nieces, and also to his own cousins, and he gave a total of so much money, and it's all going to be, you know, mixed up in certain times. It gets a little messy and we're wondering how much did he give to each person. It kind of gets messy. So we're still finding the answer, still thinking backwards. So here are the steps for today. The big one for today is this third step, okay, that's in red. So if you look right here in red, combine like terms, that's the new one. So sometimes our terms aren't going to be combined. As of now, they've all been kind of together, so all the variables and the constants will be separated. So let's look at this. Number 1 and 2, all eyes up here right now. Okay. So the first thing I always want to do is make sure I have a fence written down. So I'm going to look at my equal sign. I'm drawing a fence down. Next thing I want to do is figure out what the letter is. So we have the letter is x, and we have negative 5x's here. We have a total of 6x's here. We have constants on this side, and we have constants on this side, both sides of the equation. So we want to combine like terms. So first thing I do is combine the x's. Negative 5x plus 6x is positive 1x, or just x. Bring down the rest, negative 6 and negative 8, equal sign in the middle. Okay. Now we know x needs to be isolated, so we still do sad map just like before. Okay. Are there any subtraction signs by the x? Yeah, there's a negative 6. So what's the opposite of negative 6? Positive 6. Okay. Negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2, which is equal to x. And then I always like writing it so x is first, so I just write x is equal to negative 2. Just switch sides. That's my answer. Okay. So what did I just do? First thing I did was I drew a fence. Next thing I did is I combined like terms, making sure I knew which side of the fence x was on. Put them together, get x. Negative 6 brought down, the rest of it brought down. Use sad map to figure out what the answer was, and then I always like putting x at the beginning. Okay, watch me do number 2. Okay, number 2, 2n minus 4n is equal to negative 12. So the first thing I do is draw my fence. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is combine like terms. We have 2n minus 4n here, and then we have negative 12 here. So nothing is really together yet, so let's combine like terms. 2n minus 4n is negative 2n, which is equal to negative 12. Then I'm using sad map. Okay, going through these, are there any subtraction signs? Nope, there's a negative 2, but that's not subtract. Any addition signs? No. Division signs? No. Multiply, yeah, there's a multiplication sign between negative 2 and the n. The opposite of multiply is divide by negative 2. Dividing both sides by negative 2, we get n is equal to positive 6, right? And that's your answer. That makes sense? So today's a little bit different. 2 separate problems. So what I'd like you to do is 1 till the 2's about number 1. 2 till 1's about number 2. Ready, set, and go. Okay, number 3, let's start this one together. iPad's out. Give you a moment to write this down. First thing we want to do is, everyone? Fence. Draw a fence. Okay, good. So we're going to draw a fence first on number 3, where the equal sign is. What's the name of our variable? What's the name of the variable in this one, everyone? X, right? So you got 2x plus 6x, okay? Are all my x's together? Are they all together? No, they're not. Okay, so if I have 2x's plus 6x's, how many x's do I really have? 8x. So I'm going to put 8x, right, because I'm combining these two together. Bring down the minus 4, which is equal to 12. Now this is just like yesterday, right? SADMEP, are there any subtraction signs? Are there? Yeah, there's a minus 4. What's the opposite of minus 4? Plus 4. So we're going to do plus 4 and plus 4. Okay? So 8x, the 4's cancel out, right, is equal to, what's 12 plus 4? 16, right? Then, let's look at up here. What's the next step? Do we have any addition signs? Nope. Division signs. Do we have any division signs up there right now? No. Any multiplication signs? Yeah, 8 times x. What's the opposite of multiplying by 8? Divide by 8. Okay, finish it up, please. I'll give you a moment to finish. Show me your answer. Okay, x is equal to 2, right? Okay, next one, number 4. Number 4. You got negative 13 is equal to negative 4 plus 2k minus 1. Now on this one, are all my k's together? Yeah, there's just a 2k, right? So are they all grouped together right now? Yeah. How about all my constants? Are all my constants on the right-hand side grouped together? No. So you want to, after you draw your fence, of course. So we're all writing this down. You got negative 4 minus 1. What's negative 4 minus 1? Negative 5. So we still got 2k, but it's going to be 2k minus 5, right? Bring down the rest. I'm going to have you do this one all the way through. Ready? Go. Oh, I'm sorry. I pushed the wrong button here. Sorry about that. I lost the presentation here. So number 4, you're supposed to have this 2k minus 5 and 13. Okay, that's your first step. Finish it off, please. Go. Okay. So I have SADMEP up there. Subtraction signs by the k. Are there any subtraction signs by the k? Yes or no? Yeah, there's minus 5, so the opposite is plus 5 on both sides. So we got negative 8 is equal to 2k, divide both sides by 2, right? And we got negative 4 is equal to k, or k is equal to negative 4. That's it. Okay, some of you forgot to put the negative sign. I think you had a silly mistake, right? Silly mistakes? That would make it wrong, okay? If you put positive 4 and negative 4, those are totally different, right? Okay, continuing, number 5. Let's keep going here. Oh, this one's even harder, okay? Let's do number 5 together. We have 20 minus 4k is equal to negative 8 times k minus 5. Okay, this one's a little hard, right? Because we have k on both the left and the right side. So all eyes up here. Do you all see how there's k's both on left and right hand side? Start, you need to distribute this negative 8 into the k and the negative 5. So why don't you write this down? I'll give you a moment to write it down. Okay, so what's negative 8 times k? Negative 8k, good. What's negative 8 times negative 5? Positive 40, okay? So we first do that. We have 20 minus 4k is equal to negative 8k plus 4, or plus 40, I'm sorry. Okay, are all my k's together? No, we have negative 4k here, and we have negative 8k here. So they're on opposite sides. So I want to move. I usually like putting on my variables on the left-hand side. So I like moving this negative 8k to the left. The way you do that is you have to do the opposite of negative 8k. What's the opposite of negative 8k? plus 8k. So I'm going to add 8k to both sides. That's going to combine the like terms, because on the right-hand side they're going to disappear. And then negative 4k plus 8k is positive 4k. And then we got 20 here also. So we got 20 plus 4k is equal to positive 40. Okay? We're all doing this one together, okay? You're all doing this on your iPads with me. Okay, and just like before, now we start up SADMAP. Now we have all of the terms together. All of my k's are together. So, of course, there's a positive sign in front of the 20. So, we're going to write down SADMAP on the side, okay? Any subtraction signs? No. Addition sign, yeah, there's a positive 20, so we're going to do minus 20 on both sides. When we do that, we get 4k is equal to 20. Okay. And then we have any division signs? No. Multiplication signs? Yeah, we have a multiply times 4, so we're going to do the opposite, which is divide by 4. So k is equal to 5. And that's it. Okay, that's number 5. So that's a pretty hard one, right? So since I did that one, I would like you to write that one in your notes for sure. Okay, so why don't you take a moment, please. Let's just get this one started together. Number 6. Okay. What's the name of our variable here? P. So there's a P here on the left-hand side of my fence, right? Of course, draw the fence first. And then there's a 4 times P here, and then we have negative 7P here, right? So we got a lot of variables all over the place, right? Y'all see that? So the first thing we want to do is let's just distribute the left-hand side. I mean the right-hand side. So we got 4 times P is 4P. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. Bring down the negative 7P. Bring down the left-hand side, which is negative 3P. Minus 20. Okay? Now looking up at the board here, are my p's together still? No. Let's look at the right-hand side. 4p minus 7p. What is that going to equal? Negative 3p, right? Minus 20. Left-hand side, we still have negative 3p. Minus 20. Are my p's together still? Okay, what's the opposite of doing negative 3p? I want to move this negative 3p to the opposite side, right? Because I always like putting my variables on the left. What's the opposite of negative 3p? Positive 3p, right? Okay. Now look what happens here. We got negative 3p plus 3p that cancels out. Negative 3p plus 3p also cancels out. Do I have any more p's up there? No, I have negative 20 is equal to negative 20. Is that true? Does that make sense? Is negative 20 equal to negative 20? Does it tell me what p is equal to, though? No, it doesn't. But does this equation make sense? Does it say something that's true? Is negative 20 equal to negative 20? When this happens, when it makes sense and the variable disappears, we would just write the answer as all real numbers, okay? If this happens and the equation doesn't make sense, let's say it said negative 20 is equal to 0. We know that's not true. We would put no solution, okay? But this is your answer, okay? So this is another one I'd like you to write down in your notes too, because this is a special case. So these last two are hard. I'm making you write them down in your notes because this is like, you'll need these for your homework, okay? Yep. Okay, so that concludes the lesson, so please shut off your